Hi guys, I'm Best Goldfish, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to make this. What is this? This is an emergency box with everything I'm going to need in case of an emergency. Now let me tell you why you need this emergency box. Okay, your fish tank could leak. Okay, your fish could get sick. There could be a power outage making all your filters, oxygen sources, everything being off, let's just say. And at that moment, you need something to replace that, right? Now let me show you what you need to do, what you need in these situations. So you can create your own emergency box. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is an extra tank. Why would you need an extra tank? Okay, let's just say your fish got sick. Okay, and you have something like 100 gallon of humongous tank or little pond or something, and you don't need a lot of medication to treat your fish, right? Yeah, a lot of medication is going to need to be used to, like, let's say, medicate a 100 gallon tank. So to prevent this, you could use something like a 10 or 15 gallon tank and then medicate that, put your fish into that tank and medicate that. Now this doesn't work with all illnesses, because some illnesses, like maybe some bacterial infection, can still be in your fish tank and you have to treat your whole fish tank. But sometimes you can use your extra tank to medicate your fish, and you don't have to, you can save your medication. And also in your fish tank there are beneficial bacteria living, and those beneficial bacteria will be harmed sometimes when some medications, like let's say methylene blue, will be used. Now to prevent this, we can have the goldfish in an extra tank, put the medication there and save the beneficial bacteria that lives inside this. Okay, now that's the number one thing. Okay, one of the main things that you need to have in this emergency box. Okay, another thing that you're gonna need is a battery powered air pump or some electric source or rechargeable air pump. Why would you need a rechargeable air pump? Let me show you. As you can see, this thing is off, and what happens when it's off? The air pump stops working, and the bubbles and everything that's going through this thing stops, and no oxygen can be, like no new oxygen arrives. But what happens with a rechargeable air pump, which I'm not using currently because there's no power outage, all of these sponge filters and there will be bubbles coming because it's rechargeable, it's battery powered, and it uses, let me just on this thing, it still runs. Okay, and when it still runs, these guys get oxygen and they do not die. Okay, they do not die. Let's say you have like a 12-hour power outage, and 12 hours without this bubbling noise could kill them. So rechargeable air pump is a must. Another thing that you're gonna need, and I have it right here with me, is an extra filter. Okay, you're gonna need an extra filter because first of all, your current filter could get broken. Let's say you got a canister filter and it breaks, but you need those like filter media in there to be saved because there's no oxygen getting supplied. You can put that filter media in here, some of it in the tank, until you buy another canister filter. And let's say your sponge filter gets broken, you could replace that with another sponge filter. Or let's say you have your quarantine tank. Okay, and your quarantine tank also needs a filter, and you can use like your extra sponge filter with no beneficial bacteria in it for this. Got that? Okay, so extra filter is a must. Another thing that you're gonna need is just always have a spare bottle of dechlorinator. Okay, this will help you. I don't have Seachem Prime, yes, that's very bad, yes, I know. Anyways, extra bottle. Okay, do not use this bottle unless it's gonna expire in like few more months, or unless of an emergency, like you don't have any more dechlorinator, always have an extra bottle of dechlorinator, because you do not know when your fish will get sick and when you will have to do quick water changes, and sometimes you could have run out of dechlorinator. But to avoid that, you need an extra bottle of this stuff. Another thing that can be extremely handy to have is methylene blue. Methylene blue cures fungal infections, bacterial infections, can stop wounds. This is gel food, by the way. Could stop wounds from happening, from like getting infected and stuff. So yeah, lot of bad things could be avoided with using methylene blue. This will get a little messy, don't worry, it will all be sucked back up to the fish, then don't worry. This is a normal process of the meal in this gel food. And yeah, always have this. Another thing will be handy is a all around thing, like a medication that can pretty much pause the worst, can pause your fish's illness or even stop it for a lot of range of stuff. Malachite green can do that. It can cure fin rot, torn fin, sore spots, ick, mouth and body fungus, bacterial infections. A lot of the common fish diseases can be cured with this malachite green. So it's always handy dandy to have this at your saving. Okay, so another thing that you have to use, that you actually love having, is a spare net. Okay, you could use this spare net. Okay, let's just say one of your fish got infected. Okay, and you have only one net for, let's say, 10 fish tanks that you have. Let's just say you scoop that fish out of there and then put it to its spare quarantine tank. Okay, using the one net you have. Then if you need to net something out of the other tanks, that illness will spread from tank to tank to tank to tank to tank to tank. So I'd recommend having one net for every tank that you have. So now then contamination, cross-contamination won't happen. Another thing that could be that you need to have as a goldfish keeper is some aquarium salt. Okay, you need to have some aquarium salt, because aquarium salt cures many things. Good prevention, it prevents a lot of things and stuff. So always have this, not this exactly, but always have some aquarium salt at your savings. Okay, these stuff are indeed important. Another thing that you need is a silicone. Okay, you need a silicone with some silicone gun, aquarium safe silicone, because you say your tank leaked. Okay, you can drain this whole thing, take your fish out and then fix that quickly, let it dry maybe, I don't know, and then fill it back up. Okay, it's always handy to have some silicone and a silicone gun when you have the goldfish. Also, quick thing, I forgot to on this light. It is very bad. Anyways, so those are some stuff that you need, and I also would highly recommend you having some kind of an anti-parasitic medication. This anti-parasitic medication prevents and attacks mainly parasites and parasite. This is a parasite only stuff. So you can use this against ick and flukes and gill flukes, body flukes, and I don't know, pretty much all parasites. You need to have some parasite anti-parasite medication, because this would be very helpful. Okay, so many of you might think that this is useless, not talking about this, but many of you might think that you don't need this because you have cycled aquariums, but it's always recommended to have some kind of aquarium detoxifier, whether it's Secam Prime or something purely made to detoxify ammonia and nitrite. You need to use one of those things, because I have one of them, but it's kind of stored in a secret place. I kind of forgot where the keys are. Don't worry, I'll find it. But what you're gonna do is use that, because You could get your fish tank contaminated with some source of ammonia, and to detoxify that immediately, because fish do not like ammonia, you can get your ammonia detoxifier, pour it in and stuff, and then you can temporarily solve that issue, but it's not permanent. Another thing that you could need, actually you need for this emergency box, you won't fit in a box but whatever, is a spare bucket that you only use for aquarium things, aquarium only stuff. Okay, like maybe a 5-gallon bucket that can be used for salt baths, methylene blue baths and stuff. Or whatever, like maybe you need to transport your fish from one place to another, that can be far, so a net is not optimal, so you put them in the bucket and take them from bucket to different place, like a outside pond or something. Whatever the case, I always recommend that to have a extra bucket that you only use for keeping for fish stuff. Like, okay, you don't use this bucket to I don't know, put chemicals in, put your paint in and paint the house and stuff. Not only aquarium stuff, like only when you're doing salt baths and stuff like that. Always have an extra bucket with you. Okay, so this video was quite a short video, and I hope you guys liked watching my fish have a little nibble. As you can see, they haven't got the last one fully. It's okay, they'll get it eventually. But yeah, also if you want to see how I made the gel food, it's homemade recipe, click the link. Okay, see you guys later. Subscribe, like, and if you want to make the gel food that I just showed you, click the video somewhere around here. Click it, go click it.